Hello everyone, back tuning into today's video. We're going to do the 5-day forecast today, have a detailed look at weather for the next 5 days across the British Isles. We're going to use the charts and websites from the UK Met Office, weathercentral.de and weatheroutlook.com. You can find the links to all three of those websites on my links page. A very unsettled few days coming up. Lots of heavy rain, bouts of heavy rain coming in off the Atlantic, but it is going to be mild with southerly or southwesterly winds throughout the period. Now, before I get on with that, just want to mention the advertising. There's video ads on my pages at gazweathervids.com. The video page here on my home page actually sits just above this weather video, so if you can play the video ad, you'll be supporting gazweathervids.com. Thanks very much for doing that. So, just starting off with the radar picture, great swathe of heavy rain stretched out from Ireland in towards Wales, southwestern England, central southern England too. That's an active weather system that is moving northwards and eastwards across the British Isles through the course of today. This is today's synoptic pressure chart with an area of low pressure pushing northwards and eastwards, so you're going to find heavy rain sweeping across the whole of the country. There's been some pretty dense fog across eastern parts of England through the course of this morning. That will clear away very quickly as this cloud, wind and rain advances, and basically it's going to be very wet. We're going to have a very wet spell across many parts of the country today. Scotland probably staying out of trouble until this evening, and across the southwest and across southern parts of England it will brighten up with some sunshine coming through, although there will be some squally showers. Going to be very mild eventually in the south, with temperatures possibly up to 17 degrees. That's into the 60s Fahrenheit, but otherwise quite cool really under that rain at just 11 or 12 degrees. Now, going through tonight, the rain is going to push up in towards Scotland. It's going to become stuck across parts of eastern Scotland and north-east England for much of the night. Eventually, it will pull off into the North Sea, but you're going to have a wet spell of it in the north-east, I think, through the course of tonight. Elsewhere, the rain will clear, and we'll have showers around western coast, but many inland areas will become dry. There could be some quite dense fog forming across parts of northern England, southern Scotland, northern Ireland, and light winds. I don't think we'll have too much fog further south, because it's going to be quite a breezy night. Temperatures generally between around 5 and 11 degrees. Not a bad day as we move through into Thursday. You're going to have this ridge of high pressure across the country with the next area of low pressure waiting in the Atlantic. So I think, apart from a few showers scattered around, should be a very decent day on Thursday with some pretty good sunny spells coming through. And it's going to be quite warm as well, with temperatures possibly up to 17 or 18 degrees. That's very, very good for the middle of October. So a decent day for Thursday. But then on Friday, it all goes downhill as this next area of low pressure starts to move in off the Atlantic and brings more weather fronts in across the country. I think we'll start off with a lot of fog on Friday morning. Got to watch out for that. We've got some really dense fog patches, and across the eastern parts of England and Scotland, that fog could be very slow to clear actually, because it'll be late on in the day before the wind freshens. But for central and western parts of the country, the wind will freshen ahead of this area of low pressure. So that will clear away any fog, and we'll find wet and windy weather extending in through Ireland and much of western UK, and eventually that'll push into central parts of the country through the course of the day. Even in the east, I think the fog will lift by the afternoon, but it could be a while to get that fog to lift across eastern parts of the country. But in the west, it's a wet and windy scene developing on Friday. Temperatures with that southerly wind are going to be warm though, up to around 17 or 18 degrees once again, although pegged back of course if you're stuck in any fog in the east. And then overnight, Friday into Saturday, I think the weather fronts will come across the country and kind of get stuck. There'll be little ripples running along them, so it could be really quite a wet night Friday night into Saturday. Some bouts of heavy rain, and that'll still be across many parts of the country as we move into Saturday. Eventually this area of low pressure will push those weather fronts through. It's going to be a slow old process. So I think for much of Scotland, northern England, possibly down into the Midlands, Lincolnshire, East Anglia, yet you could have a really wet morning, certainly on Saturday morning. That could linger on well into the afternoon before eventually it does clear away, although the far northeast of Scotland could hang on to that rain all day. Sunshine and showers really following in from behind, and some of those showers will be heavy and blustery, particularly for western parts. Temperatures are going to be very mild, perhaps not quite as mild as they will be on Friday, but even so, up to 15, 16, 17 degrees, quite widely, well above average for the time of the year. Now, moving through into Sunday, actually we've got a very briefest and weakest of transient ridges on Sunday, so perhaps a better day Sunday. I think there will still be showers scattered around, also quite windy, but most places I think should have at least some decent sunny spells. and temperatures are still very good at around 16 or 17 degrees. But on Monday, at the end of the forecast period, it's going downhill again as this next area of low pressure is moving in off the Atlantic. Again, strong winds from the south and southwest, so it's going to be very mild with temperatures again up to 16, 17, possibly 18 degrees, but more heavy rain will be sweeping in off the Atlantic through the course of the day. Eastern areas getting the best of the weather, but west getting the heaviest of the rain. And by Monday, there'll have been so much rain through this 5-day period, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're not looking at some localised flooding across some western and northwestern parts of the country. Finally, have a look at the charts from the weather outlook, just see what weather's likely to be doing in your region over the next 5 days, and there's the heavy rain extending across the country through the course of the day. We'll push up into Scotland later, but it's really Ireland, England and Wales that's getting it through this morning and into this afternoon. A better day though for Thursday. I think we get some good sunny spells coming through. Possibly the rain lingering on in the north-east of Scotland. There could be a shower scattered around almost anywhere, but certainly mainly dry with sunny spells and very warm for the time of year on Thursday. More rain coming in from the west on Friday. The east probably hanging on to the driest weather for longest, but there could be fog patches lingering on in the east. And then for Saturday, well, we've got weather front really struggling to clear the country, so I think we will have a wet morning for northern east parts of the country. Eventually that'll clear away, sunshine and showers following. Few showers scattered around the Sunday, but a lot of dry weather. And then here comes the next bout of rain as we move through into Monday, but temperatures are still well above average as they are throughout this 5-day period. So in summary, it looks as though we're going to have a very unsettled spell of weather coming up. Heavy rain coming in off the Atlantic on several occasions, starting today. But on the plus side, at least it will be mild, with southerly or southwesterly winds bringing in very warm temperatures at the time of year across much of the country. That's it for now. Keep the brollies handy. Bye for now.